Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
You know, if you attempt to slaughter an entire nation based on their religion and you fail, I don't think it's that out of bounds for those people to come back and be like, you know what? We're going to make it to where this never happens again. And after October 7th, there's been a lot of talk in the international community about maybe the Israelis should just give the Palestinians what they want, which is insane. That's like us saying, okay, Al-Qaeda, what is it you wanted after 9/11, and then us giving it to them? Makes absolutely no sense. Well, the new plan in Israel is as follows. Yeah, we're just going to move in there and we're going to hold it. If the Palestinians want to live there in that situation, go right ahead and do so. But the rules, yeah, they're going to be a little different this time around. That's what I take from this. And guess what? It appears to me that they're right. That's exactly what they should be doing. That's exactly right. Take it. Hold it. Do what you want to do.
Number 6.
Chuck Grassley, the senator from Iowa, I think is all of us right now. He's my spirit animal, if you will. And he has said, enough of this. But we're done with this. What are we done with? Constitutional overreach from the judiciary. He says the Supreme Court is probably going to side with Donald Trump, and all of this is going to get wrapped up relatively quickly. Here's what he said. He said, universal injunctions are an unconstitutional abuse of judicial power. Said just this past week, a D.C. district judge issued a universal injunction blocking the president's executive order requiring voter ID or proof of citizenship prior to voting in a national election. Said judges are not policymakers. He's correct. If you want to make policy, win an election. Run on raising taxes and no voter ID and letting in as many illegals as possible and transing your kids. I mean, by force, not by choice. Run on all that stuff. And if you win, you can do it. But the judges should do it for you.
Number 5.
Speaking of transing your kids, you're going to have to do it somewhere else because Alabama's out. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall is taking a victory lap after basically winning a challenge to the Alabama's Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act that basically says you're not going to cut the dingle dongles off little boys. Okay, you're not going to do that. You're not going to shave the arms of little girls down and make penises out of them and stick them to them. That's what it does. Puberty blockers, cross-sex hormone treatments, and surgeries for the purpose of gender transitions. Yeah, those are felonies in the state of Alabama if you're doing it to children. And those doctors who do it should go to jail. That's as simple as this is. This fight has been going on for 3 years. The ACLU, the SPLC, and other large law firms have filed suit, and they lost over and over and over and over again, and now the law gets to go into effect.
Number 4.
Do you like gambling? Have you heard of Stake? Have you heard of Stake.us? Well, if you had, you could have gambled inside the state of Alabama illegally, and there are some people suing them in a class action lawsuit filed in Alabama against Stake.us, a sweepstakes-based online casino. By the way, this online casino offered to advertise on my stream one time. They did, and I didn't do it. The money wasn't good enough, but I would have. Anyway, you could get there and gamble illegally. And as of right now, there are a lot of individuals who are gambling illegally. And now people who have lost basically said, I didn't know this was gambling. No sense. But anyway, the state will ask the court to basically say, they shouldn't be doing this. And stake should be illegal inside the state. This class action lawsuit seeks money that was lost on there. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
Number 3.
72% of high school teachers say cell phones are distracting students. The other 28 are too high to understand, I guess. Or maybe they're drunk. A cell phone ban in public schools and a remaining package of public safety bills. See, that was not nice of me to say that they were high or drunk. That stuff's not in the news. I'm sorry. I'm going to use something in the news. Let me try this again. 72% of high school teachers in Alabama say that cell phones are distracting the students. The other 28% are having sex with them. Okay, there you go. That's some actual news. Anyway, Kay Ivey would like to see those cell phones banned. She urged legislators at a talk yesterday in North Alabama to get on that and some public safety bills in the last few days of the legislative session. KIV hilariously said, look, us adults, we're guilty of it too. I see a few cell phones out there. We're talking about our students and their learning environment. I would have been on my phone at that time.
Number 2.
AL.com wants to tell you how many federal workers have been fired in Alabama by Donald Trump. But they can't. But they wrote the story anyway. They've written a story about how many government employees have been fired inside the state of Alabama, but they don't know the answer. They have no idea. Now, part of the story, I guess, is that the Trump administration isn't giving them numbers. So instead of writing a story about the numbers, they're implying that it's so big that they don't want to say anything. So the scandal is not having the information. I do find this funny. They try to equate 94,000 federal employees on the U.S. Census to a tally recently that says there are 41,000 federal workers in Alabama. Is the implication here that we've lost 53,000 government employees in the last year, last 3 months? That's the implication. I mean, it's not true, but sure. Good luck. Good luck with that.
Now, time for the number one thing you'll be talking about today.
All right. I like this. I like this story. I'm a fan of this story. I'm a fan of how Tommy Tuberville is handling this story. I'm a fan of it all. I'm also a fan of Ann Coulter being very upset about this. Have you seen the story about getting $1,000 to get immigrants to leave the country? Now, a lot of conservatives are like, we shouldn't be giving them anything. We should just arrest them all and throw them out. Do you know how much it costs to throw someone out of the country? Anybody know the number that they've come up with? I don't know if it's true, but does anyone know the number? $17,000 to capture an illegal and throw them out of the country. $17,000. Donald Trump is basically saying we'll give you $1,000 in a free flight to any migrant who leaves the country if you use the app. So log on to the app and get out. Tuberville said this. It costs more than $1,000 to run these people down, transport them to the border, and transport them to wherever they want to go. So the $1,000 stipend and a free flight out of the country. And if you do that, you will be deprioritized for deportation. And if you want to come back, you'll be given a little bit of a bump in the line. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea. Or you can be caught, punished, and expelled. So there we go. Tom Homan said it would probably be a very big discount for us to be able to send everyone back for $1,000. It would be a heroic effort by HHS and everyone involved. So Tom Homan, to have this done because it's costing us a fortune. It would be much cheaper to do it this way. So I see Donald Trump is trying to do, and he might get some people to go back, and that would be awesome. It would be awesome. I agree with that. Ann Coulter's very upset because illegal immigrants will get $1,000. Again, missing the entire purpose of the whole thing. It costs $17,000 to deport someone. In this instance, you could do it for $1,000 in a plane ticket. Seems like a pretty good deal. Also, Kelsey's an illegal immigrant. Just throwing that out there. Might want to go pick him up, offer him $1,000, and maybe we'll never see him again. I will see you again, however, in just one moment, because we're going to continue. And if you got any thoughts on this, you may weigh in. 866-494-WVNN. You can jump in on the ScoutPestControl.com WVNN Hot Take text line at 866-494-9866. Or email me.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. You can get your questions in for 10 with him, or you can tell me who some black dandies are. This is something people are doing. Who are some black dandies? Okay, there you go. Get those in. Who are black dandies? What is a black dandy? Give me some names. I'm looking forward to it. Stay tuned. It's WVNN.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to YellowHammerNews.com and sign up today.